What is a horror movie yet to be made? Don't know why, but I feel like Jennifer Aniston playing a sadistic murder would be good because you wouldn't want to believe it. Aliens abduct a human, but the human is actually a psychopathic serial killer and is now loose on their ship, hunting them down. Haunted prison, but it's a fully populated prison. A family that takes vacations together, but they are all serial killers. For example, they all go on a cruise together and take turns killing people while the others stay around people for alibis. Can also take place at a ski lodge, big city, etc. I want a horror movie about a haunted bar. Maybe that's just because I work in a bar. But there are so many weird nooks and crannies in bars. Especially if the town building itself is really old. It just makes sense to me. So much bad shit happens in seedy places. Like dive bars. It's a wonder every other bar in New Orleans doesn't at least claim to be haunted. The one where they didn't investigate that sound. Someone brings George Washington to modern day and, being the only living general of the armies, immediately launches a full-scale attack on Great Britain. Ghosts in a haunted house living in fear of the serial killer who killed them. All their spooky manipulations are warnings to the next would-be victims. I guess this has been done before. But you always get the impression that the ghosts are sinister pretty much the entire time. I want stuff like a door randomly opening to a protagonist that reveals an escape hatch. Or a drawer flies open while they're being hunted, throwing all sorts of knives on the ground next to the protag. Something like that. Desperate screenwriters trawling Reddit for horror movie ideas. I have a premise for a horror movie I don't think has been made. A young blind woman buys a new house. It seems like a dream house. Shushes having it remodeled to fit her needs, so things are out of place due to ongoing construction. The house is haunted. Really fucking haunted. You can see the ghosts and evil scary shit going on, but she can't. Shusha's starting to like a young contractor that's been kind and helping her with the remodel. Shusha's trying to be brave and put on a stoic face so she doesn't seem odd and run him off, but she keeps hearing things. Things are out of place, but she doesn't know if it's nefarious or just her emotions, etc. I think it could be done really well. The mock horror story I made in a creative writing class in HS. Take the Cinnamon Toast Crunch creatures from the commercials. Make them 18 inches tall. And terrorize a small town secluded from society. It's all up to 4 16-year-olds to escape and get help. The cinnamon creatures are eating chunks off cars. Eating people alive. Covering everything with blood. And their only weakness is milk. The story is 42 Google Doc double-spaced pages long. I was rewriting it on Wattpad but got maybe 60% done and never finished it. I would 100% see this in theaters. And buy the digital copy of it. A famous musician, who moonlights as a serial killer to get inspiration for their music. With the gruesome the kill, the more inspired they feel. They purposely put clues to the murder in the songs, but passes them off as just creative lyrics. Most believe that, because the idea that a world-famous singer would be a crazed killer sounds far-fetched. Sometimes even mixing in the screams of their victims in the soundtrack. They have a very devout fan following that borders on a cult. The musician manipulates to their fans to help cover up the crimes, give them an alibi, or even kill on their behalf. BioShock, based on the video game world. A true nightmare. Italian serial killer who uses the little pizza cutter as his weapon. Honestly, it may exist. but a serial killer who unknowingly abducts another serial killer, psycho who turns the tables. Edit. I might have just described Dexter. I've never seen it. A movie filled to the brim with tension and dark atmosphere where every jump scare is a cat and there's actually nothing happening. Just someone with an overactive imagination who keeps getting scared by their cat. Batman from some criminal's points of view. A movie based on Peter Scully. He created the most notoriously evil cheese pizza gore films to ever be on the dark web. He made films so vile that most people who heard of him thought the movies were infamous legends that were not real, but sadly were true. Fortunately he was arrested. Edit. I only said cheese pizza because I did not know I was allowed to say the words child porn on Reddit, and it is disturbing to write that, so I used alternative wording. Last night I had a dream where Mother Goose was trying to harvest people for a ritual human sacrifice in order to send certain particular souls back in time to change history. Please don't ask for details. My husband woke me up halfway through because I was screaming in my sleep. Anyone who has experienced this knows it generally comes out more like a moan. Gasp. Romeo and Juliet, but they off each other's whole families so they can be happy together finally. Backrooms the movie.